good morning from Canada's Wonderland. This is our first international theme park.
We made it to Canada!
But we're here for 17, possibly. I don't know if we can get on all 17.
I don't think we're gonna get it.
Yeah, but
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if all of them are like we're allowed to get them. Yeah, we're allowed to get them on all of them. But 3 big ones: Behemoth, and Leviathan, and Yukon Striker, which is the tallest, fastest, and longest dive coaster, I think.
I'm
so that'll be cool.
super excited about that. And woo!
Here's a view from the entrance of the park. Really pretty. You've got your fountains, and then behind that is a mountain.
The dawn came late and the breakfast had the weight from the gales of November slashing.
So our first ride of the day is going to be on the B&M Giga Coaster Leviathan. This one's going to be a good one, I have a feeling.
Front row, back row.
Yeah, we just got off back rides on Leviathan. Great ride. First we did back row, and then we did front row. And surprisingly, front row seemed possibly more. It seemed
more intense, which is
it's probably because of the wind.
To everything you believe, but it felt faster. It felt. I mean, it just.
It's probably because of the wind, but
there was a lot of wind in your face. My eyes were watering. Both of our fun picks from both rides looked like we're in pain, but it was just that much fun.
It was a lot of fun,
and it was completely smooth.
Yes, I love the smoothness, fastness of it. You're whipped over the top hill if you're sitting in the back seat. Just an all-around great ride. Nice laterals and good floater airtime too. I mean, all around great ride.
If I had to rank it, and we all know I don't, I would say that it is better than Orion and Fury 325.
Wow, that's quite a.
And I love Fury. I really like Orion, but I love Fury. But I think this might be better.
And Diamondback as well, or?
Well, different class of coaster.
Okay. All right.
Don't make it confusing.
Don't confuse Hyper and Giga. All right.
All right. Off we go.
We just got off the drop tower, and
230 feet.
Yeah, 230 feet. That went up pretty fast, I thought.
And they really don't hold you long at the top.
Yeah.
They do a countdown, which I prefer because it gave me time to inhale, so I could scream all the way down.
And
one steady, continuous stream.
Real quick, a lot of the drop tower rides, Becca has a hard time getting in the seat.
I'm short.
And this one was lower to the ground, so it was a lot easier for shorter people.
If you're shorter, or if you don't have a ton of arm strength where you can like push yourself up, that is the best drop tower ever. Go Canada's Wonderland.
Our next coaster is going to be Wilde Beast. It's a wooden coaster. And this must be the Wilde Beast itself.
All right, Gucci, you guys are ready for a round. Let me hear you make some noise.
We just got off a Wilde Beast. I thought it was Wilde Beast. It's Wilde Beast.
Wild.
Yeah, wild.
It's the old-fashioned spelling.
Yeah. And one and done, for sure.
100%.
That was really rough. And we sat in the front, too. If we would have sat in the back, it would have been really badass.
Yeah, but that was bad.
Yeah. Just a typical layout.
Out and back.
Out and back.
Double out and back.
Double out and back, and it just a lot of vibration.
No, it shook.
Yeah.
It rattled.
Yeah, so we don't recommend this one.
No, do not recommend.
Our next coaster is going to be the Bat. It's a Vekoma Boomerang, I believe.
Why can they not make a boomerang
They might have one.
that runs smooth?
Yeah.
I mean, it was not as bad as Wilde Beast.
Yeah.
To be fair, it was much better than Wilde Beast. I will say, this is not a fast pass ride.
Single rider, yeah.
We decided to do single rider, which worked out well.
We pretty much got right on.
Yeah, and we were on the same train.
So if you want to get a coaster credit, yes. If you're worried about like maybe head bagging, I didn't get any, but maybe that's because I'm a little taller. But
I got plenty.
Yeah, and vibration and all that, I wouldn't recommend. Otherwise, if you want a coaster credit, yeah, that's worth it. But
it's every boomerang on the planet. It is. So, the end.
Our next coaster is going to be on Vortex. It looks like an aero suspended coaster by the cars and the track and everything. All right, we just got off Vortex, and that's definitely do not recommend that. That's
not right.
One and done for us.
Okay.
Aero suspended, that is actually the worst aero suspended I've ever been on.
The Bannock Kings Island is awesome. Iron Dragon is Cedar Point,
that's
awesome.
This
no.
Too many
fast
jerky
transitions, and
jerky, yeah, and then you
slam
bang your head. It's even when I kept my head back, it was like it was still.
It was worse when I kept my head back, so I held my head forward, and it was still bad.
I mean, you're going, and all of a sudden you stop and go again.
It was one and done.
Yeah. Next up, we're gonna go on a family ride called Flying Canoes. We just got off of Flying Canoes.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
So Becca had control of a button that lets you go up or down, do the canoe up or down, and she enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. So, if there is a button, I will push it.
So,
fun break from all the exciting, super intense coasters. That was just a little flat ride. Go up and down. Okay, that's it. I would recommend.
Next up is the B&M dive coaster, Yukon Striker. We just got off of Yukon Striker, fun ride.
Oh my gosh, I loved that. I loved that. That's it. I loved that.
In comparison to the other, I mean, they're about the same, I think.
They're all
B&M
similar.
dives,
This one's just a little bit more. Totally worth it. Would recommend, and they have the coolest bin system ever.
Yeah.
Just put your stuff in before you get on the ride. They move it for you, so it's on the other side. It's very efficient. It's cool. I need food.
We're gonna have lunch at Lazy Bear Lodge, wood-fired grill. So here's lunch at the Lazy Bear Lodge. We got the platter, which is on our meal plan, and it includes this one. We got pulled pork, a roll, and green beans. They also have smoked chicken and beef brisket, I think, are the two other main courses.
It's not the best. It's good, but it's barbecue in Canada. I mean,
those are buttered green beans.
Ooh, those are good. And hold on, is that a breadstick?
Yeah, that's a roll. Yeah.
Solid.
Okay.
It's a little dense, little dry. Overall, I'll eat it. I'm happy.
The next coaster is going to be the mighty Canadian Minebuster. I believe this is the longest wooden roller coaster in Canada. All right, we just got off of the Canadian Minebuster, and boy did it bust.
I have opinions.
It should be called the Canadian Body Buster.
If you love yourself, even a little, don't ride that ride.
It was bad. It was really bad. It was
people on the ride behind us were like groaning in pain. You could hear them. Everyone was like, oh, and that's not good.
It was bad. Typical
Seriously.
out and back layout, but it was so jerky and vibrating and just like
painful. And
there was a part of the ride where there was a turn, and I was
it threw him into me, and it was a long turn.
Yeah.
So I had to
I didn't realize it was hurting,
yeah.
or otherwise I would have tried to.
I was like hanging onto the outside of the cart trying to pull my. We
definitely do not recommend this one.
So we stopped for a snack at Beavertails. We got the Coca Vanilla, which has vanilla icing, cookie crumbles, and like fudge topping.
Okay, thank you.
So we're just
Okay.
gonna take a bite.
I've never had a beaver tail, but one in Canada, eh? Oh no.
Thoughts?
That is amazing, and we need to have them at every Cedar Fair park. That's a winner.
All right, our next ride is going to be Wonder Mountain's Guardian. It's a interactive dark ride, so this should be pretty interesting. Goes in the mountain here.
We just got off of Wonder Mountain's Guardian. It's a interactive dark ride.
With a surprise element.
With a surprise element. We won't spoil it for you. We waited about 45 minutes. This ride does not have fast lane with it, so you have to wait. But we do not think, at least I think Becca mentioned earlier, it's not worth a 45-minute wait. It was a short ride.
Like a couple minutes.
You just have interactive screens. There's a hill and a one drop and a curvature a little bit. And you
if
go in
you've never ridden it before, ride it
It's
once.
an interesting experience, yeah.
But I would not wait more than 15 minutes to ride it a second time.
Yeah. Kids would probably love it though.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
Our next coaster is the B&M Hyper Behemoth. I'm really looking forward to this. B&M Hypers are one of my favorite types of coasters, so this should be good.
We'll turn you off. We're out of here. Enjoy your 230-foot drop here on the weekend. Number 6, also being going
Next up is Time Warp. It's a flying coaster with, looks like a cage to land, which is, I don't know
Weird.
how, yeah, I don't think it's going to be too comfortable, but we'll see.
I've heard it's horrible, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
We just got off of Time Warp flying coaster. That was the worst flying coaster I've ever been on.
And I like a flying coaster.
Yeah. The restraints were just atrocious. They had first of all, when we boarded the cars, we had to, it was moving, so
we had to run because they were so far like delayed in telling us what to do. And so first of all, I mean, the spiral lift hill is kind of cool, except you can't enjoy it.
Because you're looking at a cage essentially.
Yeah, and like I was like barely peeking over the top of the
yeah, it was just so uncomfortable when
so then when you flip over, you're like, I'm like, I saw the flip, the inversion coming, and I'm like, I hope they close this cage, because I mean, you have no idea. They don't do anything. They don't say anything. It just sort of happens behind you.
In my opinion, it's one of the worst rides today. Maybe not.
No, I think the Minebuster.
Minebuster is worse. Another one we don't recommend.
Well, okay.
Unless you need a.
Once for the novelty.
Okay.
But just know.
You're in
gonna
for a
be,
pain.
It's gonna be something.
All right, our last coaster of the day is going to be Flight Deck. I think it's a B&M invert, but I'm not, maybe it's not a B&M invert, I'm not sure. Doesn't really look like a B&M.
All right, we just got off of Flight Deck. It was really rough. Vekoma, I think it's a Vekoma SLC, suspended looping coaster, and it was bad. Head banging.
Layout, bad.
Yeah, very head banging, jerky. A lot of cheese on that. Just a all-around bad ride. I don't recommend it. If you need a coaster credit, I suppose ride it. Otherwise, don't. So, anyway.
That's it.
Yeah, that's our last coaster for the day. So
Hallelujah.
we'll be back tomorrow.
I'm coastered out right now.